one I did like. You guys are terrible for sound quality. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Allie. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I adore you, I love you, I appreciate you. I don't know if you can see it, but I have two giant stacks of books and a cat. And in these stacks of books with cat is all of my favorite reads of 2022. Most of my 5 stars, a couple of my 4, but we're gonna go through. I'm gonna show you my favorite books that have come out of 2022, probably sequels and things to them that I'm excited for 2023. I might do a least favorite of 2022, but I don't know yet. Also, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. 'Tis the season right this very moment. I think it's a couple days after Christmas when this goes up, but Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope you are having a good one and or did have a good one. So first, I have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is my favorite Emily Henry book so far. People We Met on Vacation and Beach Read, I think I like 3-starred. I honestly don't remember that much about the books. They're honestly a book I could reread, and I feel like I would be reading them for the first time because I don't remember anything. This one I really liked. I actually tabbed it and annotated it, and I thought it was really cute. I remember it. It was really good. I believe I 5-starred this one. I could be wrong and 4-starred it. It's kind of forced proximity, small town romance, enemies to lovers vibes. I'm not gonna get super in-depth about these books. I feel like most people have read these books by now and you can scour my reading wrap-ups for big explanations, but I really loved this book. It was my favorite Emily Henry. I'm excited for more of her things to come out, and hopefully I like them as much as this one, because this has been my favorite. We get that. That's the point of the video. Moving on. And then following up with that, I have Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Came out this year, read it this year. I am fairly neutral on the co-host. I don't think that she is the best author on the planet, and I don't think she's the worst. I feel like she's just an author on the planet. My favorite books of hers are Reminders of Him, It Ends With Us, and Verity. All the rest of her books I've like probably 2 or 3-starred. I've DNF'd some of her books. Like, she's very all over the place for me. And I think I brought it up in my last video. I'm thinking of reading nothing but Colleen Hoover for a week and seeing what happens, because I found a bunch of her books at a thrift store. Mud, what are you doing? Give me 5 minutes. They stole my hair clip and were batting it around the bathroom floor. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. But yeah, I found a bunch of her books at a thrift store that I haven't read yet, so I'm thinking about reading nothing but those books for a week and seeing if it changes my stance on how I feel about Colleen Hoover. But this one I did like. You guys are terrible for sound quality. This is one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books. I don't know what it was about this one. I liked the storyline, a young mother coming out of jail and trying to reconnect with her daughter again. I loved it. It was really good. If all of her books were like this, she would be my favorite author, but not all of her books are like this. So staying in the like romancy genre, I then have Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I have read the entire Brown Sisters trilogy now. Dani Brown has been my favorite. I read Chloe Brown last year, and I read Dani and Eve this year. Dani is my favorite. Dani Brown was my favorite out of the 3. I liked the whole series. Probably as a whole series, that's probably like a 4. This specifically is a 5. I love the fake dating aspects of it, kind of the LGBTQ aspects of it. I am in love with the main love interest, the guy. It was great. It made me smile. I tabbed it. I annotated it. I thought it was amazing. If you haven't read the Brown Sisters trilogy, I definitely suggest it as a companion novel series. They're great. They're funny. They make you laugh. It's got good romance in all of them. But yeah, this one specifically was my favorite. Icebreaker. This is just a classic hockey sports romance, but it is done so well. I love it so much. I would read this book every day for the rest of my life and die happy. It's iconic. I love it. If you have not read it and you like a good sports romance, I highly, highly suggest it. It's like enemies to lovers, almost kind of like a bit of a forbidden romance. It's beautiful. I love it. I want there to be a million books. I want there to be a second one where they just talk about what they eat for breakfast the next day. I love this book so much. I am so happy it exists. And then Not So Meant to Be. This is the second book in a duet. The first book is called Not So Meant to Be. Both of these books are really great. The first book I read last year, but it is a duet following two brothers. Both of them, even on Goodreads, have such high reviews, and they deserve so much hype than what they have. They are iconic. I love them so much. This book specifically is like workplace enemies to lovers. Boy Falls First, very much like angsty, I don't want you to know that I like you. A plus smut. They're iconic. If you have not read these books, I highly suggest them. They are so good. Nobody talks about them. Severely underrated. They are amazing. They are great, and I can't get enough of them. I'm very sad that it is only a duology to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure there's only 2. I want there to be 7. But yeah. So then finally, my last book in like the romance genre for the year is In a Jam by Katie Canterbury. This is a very recent read. I finished this right before the holidays. I didn't even take my bookmark out. I just closed the book and finished it. This is the first romance book that made me feel something in a while. I annotated some of it. I highlighted some of it. Like, I felt giddy. I felt like I was reading a romance book, and it made me happy. I feel like I've read so many romance books that are just books, don't make me feel things anymore. This one made me feel things. It's small town romance, single dad adjacent, a little bit of second chance romance, boy falls first. It's so cute. My last read of the year and one of my all-time favorites. So that is pretty much it for like my romance section of it all. And then I just have one for like a non-fiction-y, and that is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I loved this book so much. I feel weird about like rating people's memoirs. I feel like it's kind of weird to like give a star to someone's life, being like, ooh, your life was not as good at this person, so you get 3 stars and this person gets 4. It feels weird. If I was, this is just a 5-star book overall. The way that Jeanette writes this book is beautiful, and it's healing. I literally wrote in the beginning of the book, wishing Jen all the love and healing in the world. This book is beautiful. It is heartbreaking. I will never think about the world the same because of this book. If every other book I read this year disappeared, but just this one, this book deserves everything. It deserves the whole year of 2022. I will say it does have a lot of trigger warnings for things like parental abuse, abuse in the workplace, a lot for eating disorders, sexual abuse, sexual assault, alcoholism, religious trauma. So like, if those are things that you don't want to read about, I don't fault you for not reading this. I totally understand. But if you're okay with reading things like this, I definitely suggest this book if you haven't read it yet. It was amazing. So then for thrillers, one of my favorite thrillers this year was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is the first book in, I think, 3. I haven't read the other 3 yet. I feel like at this point I would reread at least the last couple chapters of this to see where this ended before I went to the next one. But I did really enjoy this. I probably will get into the rest of the series. I just haven't yet. There's been so many other things. I really enjoyed this one. It is like more YA in my opinion. I'm a big fan of YA thrillers. I still am like a baby back bitch and everything scares me. YA thriller and murder mysteries are like suspenseful enough to keep me interested enough, but not scary enough Stephen King that I want to cry. So I love YA thrillers. So if you also have suggestions for other good YA thrillers, let me know. But I loved this one. If you're looking for another good YA thriller series, I definitely suggest this. And then to contradict my whole YA thrillers because everything scares me, I can't get the sticker off. Target, come on. But I read The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart. She is a podcast host for the podcast Morbid. Elena is an autopsy technician, so she was able to like not put in details that necessarily grossed me out or anything, but she was able to like detail this book in a way that I feel like is so different from other thrillers and true crime based books. She just made it feel real because she knows how it is in real life, and it's such an engaging story. I did 4-star this because I was slightly confused at one point because and it being a timeline jump that I didn't necessarily pick up on. It leaves you on a very big cliffhanger because I guess she is going to try and make this a series. So if you want a book that is just like a standalone, not this one, the cliffhanger on this made me want to kill myself. It's so good, and I hated it and loved it so much. But yeah, if you want a more adult themed like true crime, it's based off a serial killer, I will just read you what it's about. A methodical serial killer with a penchant for medical experimentation is hard at work completing his most harrowing crime yet, taunting the authorities who desperately try to catch up. But forensic pathologist Dr. Ren Muller is the best there is. Armed with an encyclopedic knowledge of historical crimes and years of experience working in the medical examiner's office, she's never encountered a case she couldn't solve, until now. Case after case is piling up on Ren's examination table, and soon she is sucked into an all-consuming cat-and-mouse chase with a brutal murderer getting more brazen by the day. An addictive read with straight-from-the-morgue details only an autopsy tech could provide, The Butcher in the Wren promises to ensnare all who enter. And it did. It was very good. One of my all-time favorites of the year. If you're looking for some true crime, murder, mystery, whodunit type stuff, I definitely suggest it. It's dual point of view, so you're getting the point of view of like the police and the good guys trying to catch him, and the point of view of the serial killer and like what's going through his mind. So it was very, very good, and I highly suggest it if it seems like something that's your vibe. Okay, and then on to my final section of fantasy. Pretty much all of this series, but one of my favorite things I read this year was the Throne of Glass series. I did not want to get every single book off my shelf. Most of them varied from 4 to 5 stars, but overall, the entire series as a whole, I 5-starred it. This is probably my favorite Sarah J. Maas series yet. I have a very deep connection with ACOTAR simply because it's a series that I read when I got out of college two and a half years ago after not reading for all of college, and got me right back into reading. So like I have that connection to ACOTAR just for the fact that like it brought me here. Throne of Glass has some of my favorite characters and favorite plots because it's like an 8-book series. So if you're a fan of Sarah J. Maas, do not let the size of this series fool you. It's incredible. I love it. I am a big fan of Tower of Dawn. For people that don't like Tower of Dawn or skipped it, that's dumb. I was never a fan of Carol's character, but I loved that book. It was great. It very much needed to happen. I understand if you were reading it in the moment as Throne of Glass was happening that you would be mad that that book happened before the end. In hindsight, it's a great book. And if you're somebody that skipped it, shame on you, go read it. Yeah, read this series. I love it. So then I read one of my favorite duologies, soon to be series, Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. The first book is Once Upon a Broken Heart, and the second book is The Ballad of Never After. The Ballad of Never After specifically, I love. I think I 3-starred the first one. I might have 5-starred this one. I tabbed the crap out of it. I also got a special edition of it, so it's just an incredibly beautiful book. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's also a signed copy. I'm baller. I deserve a standing ovation for doing the bare minimum. I was never a fan of Caraval. I thought it was confusing. I think I finished the first book, didn't really go into it or the rest of the book after that. The series, it confused me. I didn't like it. So I was really worried that I wasn't going to like this series, having been written by the same author and kind of like that weird fantasy world of it all. I adore this series. I am in love with Jax. I love him so much. I can't. This series has me in a chokehold. I will be pre-ordering the new book as soon as I am able to. I just love it. If you want a really good YA series, I definitely suggest this, especially if you are fans of Caraval. Definitely if you're a fan of Caraval, you will like this. I just liked this more than Caraval. But yeah, I don't even want to stop holding these books. I love them so much. Jax has me in a chokehold. I am going to reread this probably multiple times. I literally have an annotation in here that just says, hot with hearts. I feel some type of way about this man. I really do. I just can't. I adore Jax. I adore this series. Please go read it so I can shut up about it. And then finally, my other favorite series that I read this year is the Kingdom of the Wicked series. So the first one is Kingdom of the Wicked, the second one is Kingdom of the Cursed, and the third one is Kingdom of the Feared. I have it special ordered and it has not been delivered yet. And that is why I haven't read it. And I'm upset because I want to read it. It has been out for months and my special order is not here yet. I keep emailing the company and they're like, we're working on sending them out right now. And I'm like, well, send them out a little bit faster, please. This book's been out for months. Every time I go to Barnes & Noble, I have to fight myself to not buy it because I don't want to have 2 editions of the same book, because also my luck, I'll buy the book and then my special edition will show up as soon as I get home from buying the other book. So I'm having an existential crisis about the 3rd book because I want to read it, but I don't have it. And I can't justify buying it again when my 3rd one is supposed to be in the mail very soon. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Go read this series. If you are like a cool Prince fan that blew up earlier this year and or last year, kind of a magic-y witches, demons person, you will love this. Wrath is iconic. I also am in love with him. It's YA, so it's not super spicy. The ending of the 2nd book was kind of getting spicy and then it ended, and I don't know what to expect from the 3rd book because I have not read it. But yeah, go read them. Ugh, I'm gonna drop them. Oh my god. No, you're falling. God, I don't know if you can even see all of this. Look at my pajama pants, aren't they nice? But yeah, these are all of my favorite reads that have come out of 2022. A lot more books that I obviously really liked, but out of all of these are the ones that stuck out to me the most. So if you have not read any of these lists, these are my most highly recommended ones if you need some more reads for 2023. 2023, I am excited for the next book in Once Upon a Broken Heart. I am excited for more Emily Henry. I'm excited for possible next book for Butcher and the Wren. I am excited to try and read more Good Girls Guide to Murder. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully I reach my reading goal this year. If you watched my video last year, I did not reach my reading goal, but I also went a little hard on my reading goal. I think it was a little obnoxious of a goal. These are all my favorite books of the year. Hopefully there's some new recommendations for you to finish off your year with or bring into next year. Thank you guys for being here and joining me on this holiday week. Again, I hope you had a happy, healthy, fun, safe time. I know holidays can be also very difficult for some people, but I hope you had the best time that you could given your circumstances and what you celebrate and yada yada yada. And it's almost a new year, which is terrifying, and I'm not ready for that, and I'm kind of having an existential crisis about it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love and appreciate you so much. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, they are down below and on my end card screen. Down below is my PangoBooks if you want to buy mine or other people's used books. It's a cheaper way to get last minute bookish gifts for people that are readers in your friends, that are readers in your life. Down below is also my Amazon wish list. I had it shut down for a little while. I opened it back up again, revamped it. I have it now set so that you, the person that clicks on the link, can add things to my list. So if there's a book on there that you really want me to read, you can send it to me. If it's a book that's not already on there, if it's one of your favorite books that I've never heard of, you can send it directly to me through that link now. So I changed that up so you could send me things that are already on there or put something on there yourself to send to me. So feel free to send me your favorite books and I will read them for sure. But yeah, I think that's it. I love and appreciate you so much. Please stay safe and have a happy and healthy rest of the holiday season and a good new year. Yeah, I love you. I will see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye.